Good morning and welcome back to our channel. So today we will learn anatomy of CloudFormation template. So let's start. So first of all, let's recall the definition of template. So template is a declaration or instruction on what resources should be deployed on a stack. Resources can be anything, such as S3 bucket, EC2 instance, etc. We have to create a file in which we have to include all the resources which we want, and that file is called template. Templates can be written in two formats. First as JSON and second as YAML. You can create template using any simple text editor. However, you can also use simple Notepad to create a template file. You need to have basic knowledge of JSON and YAML. It is very easy to learn JSON and YAML. It is not compulsory to learn both JSON and YAML. You can learn one out of them. So throughout the playlist we will use JSON format, and you will be able to follow me even if you don't know JSON and YAML at this point. We will create just a plain text file and save it using extensions as JSON, YAML, template or TXT. A bucket will be created in the same region where our stack is created. So S3 bucket will be created to store our template in the same region where our stack is created. Region for S3 bucket and stack will be same. Now let's move to example of template file. First, let's take a very simple example of the template. So here is the example. If you are the programmer, then you will be knowing about blocks in coding. So this is the main block, and these are the sub-block in it. So we are able to see keyword called resources. As we know in the template file, we have to add resources which we want to create. So here the resource is S3 bucket. We can see the keyword called hello bucket, and in it, type is also specified, and the type is AWS S3 bucket. So in this example a resource is added which is S3 bucket. And you have to close each and every bracket which you open. So we can see the pairs of the brackets here. So we have seen very simple example of template. Now let's move further to see more examples. So now let's see this example. We are able to see to the resource part here, but there are also additional blocks in it. So let's see the additional blocks. So the resource is same as previous example which is S3 bucket. In the hello bucket part we have two keywords. One is type and other as properties. So we can also add properties as per our need. In properties we have many keywords. First is access control and second is website configurations. So we can control the access of our bucket. So here it is set to public read. So our bucket is allowed to public read. Then second is website configuration. So here we have two things. Firstly, we have to mention index document means the first file of our website which is index.html. And next we have to mention error document which is error.html. So this is how we can launch website. So this was the advanced example. Now let's see one more example. So this is the example here. We have resources and instance security group. So now let's understand this example. So first in the resources part we have added the EC2 instance resource. In instance part we have added the properties part. In properties part we have added security group, and there we have added reference of our security group. So let's see the instance security group. In that we have many keywords such as type, properties, and in properties part we have description and ingress. Ingress means inbound traffic permissions. So in ingress part we are able to see IP protocol and its value as TCP. Then we have ports defined here. And lastly we have IP address range. Here we have 0.0.0.0/0, so we can access it with all the IP addresses. And in the resource part we have keyname and image ID. So wherever it will see to the security group there will be a reference in it. So it will directly go to the instance security group which we have created. So when we want to attach security group to many resources, then we can create a reference for it, and add it to all the resource as per our need. Now let's see parameter in the template file. So this is the example. Here we have resources and parameters. So now let's understand this example. So first in the resources part we have added the EC2 instance resource. In instance part we have added the properties part. In properties part we have added security group, and in that we have reference of our security group. And last is the keyname keyword, which is the most important to understand for the parameter. So if you want to use your template in same region, then you can configure your keyname directly as we did in previous example. But if you want to use your template in different regions also, then you have to add parameter for it. So let's see the parameter part. In that we have keywords like instance type, description which says, it is for the EC2 key pair to allow SSH access to instance. Then we have type keyword. Here we have AWS, EC2, key pair, keyname as value. So in resources part we have keyword, as keyname, and in that we have given the reference of the keyname, means it will ask the user to enter the key pair. So this is user-defined thing. Every time the user will be asked to enter the key pair. So that's the parameter in the template file. Let's see some more parameters. So here are some more parameters. First is WordPress user parameter, and there are many keywords in it. We can create user as per our choice. Here there is default user. Then we can add description, and we can also specify the type which should be accepted by it. Here it is string type. Then we can also specify minimum length and maximum length, and we can also allow pattern we want. Next parameter is web server port. We can also define the default port here, and we can add description, then type, and we can also specify the minimum value and maximum value. So these are additional parameters. There are also more additional parameters that we can add. We have just seen the basic ones. If you want to see more example, then you can go to the CloudFormation user guide website. Now let's take the summary of the video. So, we discussed details of the template file, that what all we can add in the file. So if you want to become master in CloudFormation, then you have to learn all the details of the template in very deep. So if you want to do so, you can go to CloudFormation user guide, which is provided by AWS, and you can learn from there in details. So that's it for the video. Meeting you in the next video.